It was a quiet Tuesday evening in Los Angeles, the kind where the setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange and purple. LeBron James, fresh off a grueling practice session with the Lakers, decided to treat himself to dinner at Nobu Malibu, one of the city's most exclusive restaurants. He had reserved a private section, hoping to enjoy a peaceful meal away from the constant attention that followed him wherever he went. The restaurant staff had prepared his favorite table, tucked away in a corner with a breathtaking view of the Pacific Ocean, offering both privacy and ambience. LeBron arrived wearing a simple yet elegant outfit: dark jeans, a crisp white button-up shirt, and a navy blazer that complemented his athletic frame. He nodded politely to the host, who recognized him immediately and led him to his table without any unnecessary fuss. The restaurant was moderately busy, with the soft murmur of conversations and the gentle clinking of silverware creating a soothing background noise that LeBron appreciated after the loud, echoing sounds of the basketball court. As he settled into his seat, LeBron checked his phone briefly, responding to a few messages from teammates and scrolling through his social media feed. He put his phone away as the waiter approached, determined to enjoy some disconnected time and savor the exceptional cuisine that Nobu was famous for. The waiter handed him the menu and recommended the chef's special for the evening, a fusion dish that combined traditional Japanese techniques with California-inspired ingredients. If you're enjoying this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more celebrity encounters that will blow your mind. Comment below with your favorite LeBron or Snoop moment. Just as LeBron was about to order, there was a noticeable shift in the restaurant's atmosphere. Heads turned, whispers grew louder, and even the waitstaff seemed momentarily distracted. Following the direction of everyone's gaze, LeBron spotted the unmistakable lanky figure of Snoop Dogg entering the restaurant, surrounded by a small entourage. The rapper was dressed in his signature style, a designer tracksuit, gold chains, and sunglasses despite the evening hour. Snoop's presence commanded attention, his laid-back confidence and iconic status making him impossible to ignore. He greeted fans and restaurant staff with equal warmth, his characteristic drawl and easy smile putting everyone at ease. LeBron watched with amusement as Snoop worked the room, a master of social interaction who seemed genuinely pleased to connect with people. It was a quality that LeBron admired and shared, understanding the importance of remaining grounded despite fame. The maitre d' led Snoop and his group toward the private dining section, and LeBron realized they were heading in his direction. He wondered if they might be seated in an adjacent area, mentally preparing himself for the possibility of exchanging pleasantries. What LeBron didn't expect was for Snoop to stop dead in his tracks upon noticing him, a wide grin spreading across his face as he changed course and headed directly to LeBron's table. "King James," Snoop called out, loud enough for nearby diners to hear but not so loud as to disrupt the entire restaurant. "My man, didn't expect to see you here tonight." LeBron stood up, a genuine smile on his face as he extended his hand to Snoop, which quickly turned into a warm embrace. The two men had crossed paths at various events over the years, maintaining a mutual respect that transcended their different worlds of sports and music. "Snoop, good to see you," LeBron replied, his deep voice carrying the sincerity of his words. "You here for dinner or taking over the place?" he joked, referencing Snoop's commanding presence. Snoop laughed, removing his sunglasses to reveal eyes twinkling with mischief and appreciation for the jest. The rapport between them was immediately evident. Two legends comfortable in their status but retaining the humility to appreciate each other's accomplishments. What happened next caught the attention of several nearby diners, many of whom discreetly reached for their phones. Snoop, in an unexpected move, pulled up a chair at LeBron's table without waiting for an invitation. "Mind if I join you, King? My crew can handle themselves," he said, gesturing to his entourage who were already being seated at a nearby table. LeBron, though momentarily surprised, welcomed the company, intrigued by the prospect of dinner conversation with someone whose career had been as impactful in music as his own had been in basketball. "Be my guest," LeBron gestured to the empty chair across from him, signaling to the waiter that his reservation had just expanded. The waiter, professional as ever, quickly adjusted, bringing another set of utensils and a menu for Snoop. Around them, the excitement was palpable as other diners tried to contain their amazement at witnessing this impromptu meeting of icons. Phones were surreptitiously raised, capturing this unexpected moment that would soon make waves across social media platforms. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying this incredible story about two legends coming together. Subscribe now to never miss an update on what happens next. The waiter approached their table with a mixture of professionalism and barely concealed excitement, handing Snoop a menu while refilling LeBron's water glass. "Can I start you gentlemen with some drinks?" he asked, his voice steady despite serving two of the most recognizable celebrities in America. Snoop ordered a specialty gin and juice cocktail that wasn't officially on the menu, but the bartender knew exactly how to prepare it for their famous patron, while LeBron stuck with sparkling water, mindful of his training regimen. As they waited for their drinks, an initial moment of silence fell between them. The kind that occurs when two people of significant stature assess each other outside their usual contexts. It was Snoop who broke the ice, leaning forward with genuine interest. "Man, that game against Phoenix last week, pure fire," he said, referencing LeBron's recent performance where he'd scored 42 points and made a game-winning assist. "You still making it look easy after all these years." LeBron nodded appreciatively, always grateful when someone acknowledged the work, rather than just the results. "Appreciate that, Snoop. Not as easy as it looks, though, especially not these days," he replied, unconsciously rubbing his knee which had been giving him trouble lately. "I'm just trying to stay competitive in a league that keeps getting younger and faster." The honesty in his response established an authentic tone for their conversation, moving it beyond the superficial exchanges that often characterized celebrity interactions. Their drinks arrived, and they clinked glasses in a casual toast before ordering their meals. LeBron chose the miso black cod, a health-conscious option that still satisfied his foodie sensibilities, while Snoop ordered the Wagyu beef tacos and yellowtail jalapeno, combining luxury with his laid-back SoCal tastes. As the waiter departed, Snoop leaned back in his chair, his posture relaxed yet attentive. "You know, we've been running parallel for a long time, you and me. Different lanes, same highway." The observation struck LeBron as particularly insightful, and he nodded thoughtfully. "That's real. Both of us came up from nothing, had to prove ourselves every step of the way." He took a sip of his water, considering his next words carefully. "And both of us had to figure out how to be more than what people expected, how to build something that lasts beyond the game or the music." Around them, the restaurant continued its elegant hum of activity. But at their table, a deeper conversation was unfolding. Snoop's expression grew more animated as he leaned forward, his voice lowering slightly. "That's exactly it, King. See, people think they know us because they've watched us for years, but they don't see the business moves, the community work, the legacy building." He gestured with long, bejeweled fingers as he spoke. "Like your school in Akron, that's generational impact right there. That's changing the game off the court." The reference to LeBron's I Promise school, which provided education and support for at-risk children in his hometown, brought a genuine smile to the basketball star's face. "Man, that school means everything to me," LeBron admitted, his passion evident as he spoke about the educational initiative closest to his heart. "Those kids remind me of myself, and they deserve every opportunity I can help create for them." He paused as their appetizers arrived, the conversation momentarily interrupted as the waiter arranged the dishes on their table with practiced precision. Several diners nearby were now openly watching their interaction, some even recording short videos despite the restaurant's usual privacy policies. As they began to enjoy their food, Snoop shared stories about his youth football league, which had been providing an alternative to street life for inner-city kids for over 15 years. "It's about giving them structure, you know, teaching them discipline and teamwork, same things that sports taught us." LeBron listened intently, impressed by Snoop's long-term commitment to community work that rarely made headlines compared to his music career or larger-than-life personality. Their conversation was revealing layers that the public rarely saw. Two men discussing their responsibilities as role models and community leaders. Between bites of their appetizers, they discovered more common ground. Their business ventures beyond their primary careers, their approaches to family life in the spotlight, and their shared experiences navigating fame since their youth. What had begun as a chance encounter was evolving into a meaningful exchange between two cultural icons who recognized in each other a similar journey despite their different paths. Their animated conversation was drawing more attention, with subtle phone cameras capturing snippets that would soon spread across social media. The main courses arrived, and the conversation shifted to their creative processes, how LeBron prepared mentally for crucial games and how Snoop approached writing and recording new music. "It's all about finding that zone," Snoop explained, gesturing with his fork. "That mental space where everything flows and you're not even thinking anymore, just creating." LeBron nodded emphatically, recognizing the state of flow that Snoop was describing, a phenomenon he'd experienced countless times on the court when the game seemed to slow down and his instincts took over. "People don't understand that part, the mental game," LeBron responded, cutting into his fish. "They see the physical talent, but they don't see the hours of visualization, the preparation, the focus it takes to perform when millions are watching, and expecting greatness every single time." Snoop pointed at him in agreement, his expression serious despite his relaxed demeanor. "Exactly. That pressure to innovate while staying true to yourself, to keep elevating your game without losing what made people connect with you in the first place." Wow, this story is getting intense. If you're loving this unexpected friendship between LeBron and Snoop, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Drop a comment telling us what you think will happen next. As their dinner conversation deepened, the restaurant manager approached their table with a respectful nod. "Mr. James, Mr. Broadus, I hope you're enjoying your evening," he said, using Snoop's real last name. "We have a local charity event happening in our private room tonight, raising money for youth arts programs in underserved LA neighborhoods. I understand this is completely unexpected, but the organizers wondered if you might be willing to make a brief appearance. It would mean the world to the attendees." The manager's request was made discreetly, his tone making it clear that a refusal would be completely understood. LeBron and Snoop exchanged glances, a wordless communication passing between them. They had both built reputations not just on their professional success, but on their willingness to give back to communities similar to those they'd grown up in. "What do you think, Snoop? Should we crash their party?" LeBron asked with a hint of mischief in his voice. Snoop's response was a characteristic grin and a nod. "You know we gotta show love to the kids, King. That's what it's all about." The manager's face lit up with barely contained excitement as he thanked them profusely. Finishing the last of their main courses, LeBron and Snoop followed the manager through a discreet side entrance that led to a beautifully decorated private room. Inside, about 50 people, donors, organization leaders, and a few teenage program participants, were mingling over desserts and coffee. The conversation in the room died down immediately as heads turned toward the door, disbelief and excitement washing over the attendees' faces at the sight of the two unexpected celebrity guests. A young girl, perhaps 15 years old, was the first to react, gasping audibly before whispering to her friend, "Is this real?" The event organizer, a middle-aged woman who had been addressing the room moments before, recovered quickly from her shock and approached them with professional composure that barely contained her excitement. "Mr. James, Mr. Broadus, this is an incredible honor. We're raising funds tonight for arts education in South Central and East LA. Thank you so much for joining us." She handed them each a small brochure detailing the program's impact, which both men took the time to glance at, showing genuine interest rather than merely going through the motions of a publicity appearance. What happened next was entirely unscripted, and would become the viral moment that would capture the internet's attention for days to come. One of the teenage participants, a tall, lanky boy with dreams of becoming a music producer, had been showcasing a beat he had created as part of the program. Seeing Snoop in the room, the boy froze, his hand suspended over the equipment. Snoop, noticing his reaction, walked over with his characteristic laid-back stride. "Don't stop on my account, young blood. Let me hear what you're working with," he encouraged, his genuine interest visible in his body language as he leaned in to listen. The teenager, overcoming his initial shock, restarted his beat, a clever fusion of classic West Coast rhythms with modern trap influences. As the music filled the room, Snoop began nodding his head appreciatively, feeling the rhythm. Without warning, he started freestyling over the beat, delivering improvised lyrics that praised the young producer's talent and the importance of arts education. The room erupted in cheers, and phone cameras immediately rose to capture the unexpected performance, the energy in the room transforming from polite fundraiser to impromptu concert. LeBron, not to be outdone and seeing the joy on the faces of the young participants, moved to the center of the room and began dancing to Snoop's freestyle. his athletic grace evident even in this casual setting. The basketball superstar, known for his pre-game dance routines and locker room celebrations, brought his signature moves to the impromptu performance, creating a moment of pure, unfiltered joy. The teenagers in the room, initially starstruck and hesitant, gradually joined in, encouraged by LeBron's inclusive gestures, inviting them to dance along with him. What made the moment truly special was the authenticity of it all. This wasn't a carefully choreographed publicity stunt, but a genuine expression of two celebrities connecting with young people through the universal languages of music and movement. The event organizers watched in amazed delight as their fundraiser transformed into something far more memorable than they could have planned. One of them had the presence of mind to announce that both LeBron and Snoop had each pledged substantial donations to the program, which prompted a new round of cheers and applause. After a few minutes of this joyful collaboration, Snoop concluded his freestyle with a shout-out to the young producer and a message about believing in dreams, regardless of where you come from. The room erupted in applause, with several of the wealthy donors visibly moved by the demonstration of talent and the connection they had just witnessed. In that moment, the power of arts education wasn't just a concept in a fundraising brochure. It was alive and electric in the room, demonstrating exactly why such programs deserved support. LeBron took the opportunity to address the room, his deep voice commanding attention without effort. "What we just saw right here? That's why these programs matter," he said, gesturing to the young producer who was beaming with a mixture of pride and disbelief. "Talent is everywhere, but opportunity isn't. That's why we need to keep investing in these kids, in their dreams, in their futures." His words were met with nods of agreement and a renewed energy among the donors, many of whom were already discussing increasing their pledges. The event organizer, seizing the momentum, guided both celebrities to a table where they signed memorabilia that would be auctioned off to raise additional funds. As they prepared to leave, both men took time to speak individually with each of the teenage participants, offering words of encouragement and taking selfies that would undoubtedly become treasured possessions. One of the donors, impressed by the whole scene, was already uploading videos to social media, tagging both LeBron and Snoop with the caption, "The most real moment I've ever seen. Legends supporting future legends." Passing the torch. As they made their way back to their table in the main restaurant, both men were quiet for a moment, processing the unexpected turn their dinner had taken. It was Snoop who spoke first, his voice carrying a note of satisfaction. "See, that's the real work right there. That kid with the beat, he'll remember this night for the rest of his life." LeBron nodded in agreement, adding, "And it's not just about meeting us. It's about him knowing his talent is real, that it deserves to be taken seriously." Unknown to them, the videos from the event were already beginning to circulate online, gaining thousands of views with each passing minute. If you've made it this far, you're witnessing something special. Hit subscribe now to see how this incredible story ends. Like and comment below with your favorite parts so far. By the time LeBron and Snoop returned to their table to finish their dinner, the videos from the charity event had already begun their rapid journey across social media platforms. The clip of Snoop freestyling over the teenager's beat while LeBron danced alongside the young participants was being shared with astonishing speed, garnering hundreds of thousands of views within the first hour. What resonated most with viewers wasn't just the star power of the two celebrities, but the genuine joy and respect they showed for the young artist's talents. Back at their table, both men were unaware of their newly viral status as they ordered dessert, a green tea ice cream for LeBron and a chocolate lava cake for Snoop. Their conversation had shifted to the topic of legacy and how they hoped to be remembered beyond their professional achievements. At the end of the day, LeBron reflected, spooning a small portion of his ice cream, "The championships and the awards will collect dust somewhere, but the impact we have on people's lives, that's what lives on." Snoop nodded thoughtfully, his expression more serious than his public persona typically allowed. "That's the real truth right there. Records break, new artists come up, but changing somebody's life, that's forever." He paused, considering his next words carefully. "You know what I respect most about your journey, King? You never forgot where you came from. All these years, all this success, and you're still connected to Akron, still pouring back into the community that raised you. That's rare in our world." Sincerity in Snoop's voice made it clear that this wasn't mere flattery, but a genuine observation from someone who had witnessed many celebrities lose their way. LeBron appreciated the recognition, particularly coming from someone who had maintained his own authenticity throughout decades in the spotlight. Same goes for you, man. Long Beach still claims you, and you still claim Long Beach. That connection to home keeps you grounded, keeps you real. Their conversation was interrupted by the buzzing of their phones, notifications flooding in as the videos continued to spread across platforms. LeBron glanced at his screen, eyebrows raising slightly as he saw the rapidly climbing view counts and the flood of positive comments. "Looks like our little impromptu performance is making some waves," he commented, showing his phone to Snoop, who laughed with genuine amusement. That's how it goes these days. Nothing stays private for long. Neither man seemed bothered by the attention. Both had long since adjusted to living public lives. What pleased them was the nature of the viral moment. Not a controversy or a misstep, but a positive interaction that highlighted causes they both cared deeply about. The hashtag #CharlerLegendsGivingBack was already trending nationwide. As they enjoyed their desserts, several major sports and entertainment news outlets had picked up the story, with headlines emphasizing the unexpected nature of the encounter and the impact it had on the young artists present. ESPN's Instagram account shared the video with the caption, "More than athletes, more than entertainers, King James and Snoop Dogg, showing what true mentorship looks like." The post was rapidly accumulating likes and shares, further amplifying the reach of the original videos. Their phones continued buzzing with messages from friends, family, and team members who had seen the videos. LeBron's agent texted to inform him that several major brands had already reached out, interested in potentially turning the organic moment into a collaborative charitable initiative. Snoop received similar messages from his management team, along with requests from music producers wanting to work with the talented teenager whose beat had impressed the rap legend. What had begun as a chance dinner encounter was evolving into something with potential long-term impact. The restaurant manager approached their table again, this time with a different request. "Gentlemen, I hate to intrude, but we've received calls from several news outlets asking for comment about what happened at the charity event. We've declined to provide details out of respect for your privacy, but I wanted you to be aware of the situation." LeBron and Snoop exchanged glances, both accustomed to the media's interest in their activities, but surprised by the speed with which this particular story had spread. "Thanks for the heads up," LeBron responded. "We appreciate you respecting our privacy." After the manager left, Snoop leaned forward with a mischievous grin. "You thinking what I'm thinking, King?" LeBron raised an eyebrow questioningly. "Instead of letting the media run with their version of events, why don't we control the narrative? Post something ourselves, make it about the kids and the program, direct people to donate." LeBron nodded appreciatively at the suggestion, always strategic about his social media presence and its potential impact. "I like how you think. Let's do it right now." Both men took a moment to craft thoughtful posts for their respective social media accounts. LeBron's post included a photo of the young participants at the charity event, with their permission, along with a link to donate to the arts program and a caption that read, "Unexpected dinner with Snoop Dogg turned into an unforgettable night, supporting young artists in LA. These kids have incredible talent. They just need the opportunity to shine. Follow the link to help make that happen. Invest in the future." Snoop's post was similar in message but delivered with his characteristic flair, encouraging his followers to drop some dollars for the next generation of creators. Within minutes of their posts going live, the donation page for the arts program crashed due to overwhelming traffic. The organization quickly worked to restore it, amazed by the sudden influx of support and attention. By the time LeBron and Snoop finished their desserts, the program had received more donations in a single evening than in the previous 6 months combined. The viral moment had transformed into a viral movement, with celebrities and influencers joining in to amplify the cause and contribute their own donations. As they prepared to leave the restaurant, both men were aware that a small crowd had gathered outside, word having spread about their presence. Rather than slipping out through a back entrance as they might normally do, they decided to exit through the front, understanding that their visibility could further highlight the cause they had inadvertently championed that evening. The maitre d' thanked them profusely for their patronage as they settled their bill, LeBron insisting on paying for both of them despite Snoop's good-natured protests. Back at their table, both men were unaware of their newly viral status as they ordered dessert, a green tea ice cream for LeBron and a chocolate lava cake for Snoop. Their conversation had shifted to the topic of legacy and how they hoped to be remembered beyond their professional achievements. At the end of the day, LeBron reflected, spooning a small portion of his ice cream, the championships and the awards will collect dust somewhere. But the impact we have on people's lives, that's what lives on. Snoop nodded thoughtfully, his expression more serious than his public persona typically allowed. That's the real truth right there. Records break, new artists come up, but changing somebody's life, that's forever. He paused, considering his next words carefully. You know what I respect most about your journey, King? You never forgot where you came from. All these years, all this success, and you're still connected to Akron, still pouring back into the community that raised you. That's rare in our world. The sincerity in Snoop's voice made it clear that this wasn't mere flattery, but a genuine observation from someone who had witnessed many celebrities lose their way. LeBron appreciated the recognition, particularly coming from someone who had maintained his own authenticity throughout decades in the spotlight. Same goes for you, man. Long Beach still claims you, and you still claim Long Beach. That connection to home keeps you grounded, keeps you real. Their conversation was interrupted by the buzzing of their phones, notifications flooding in as the videos continued to spread across platforms. LeBron glanced at his screen, eyebrows raising slightly as he saw the rapidly climbing view counts and the flood of positive comments. Looks like our little impromptu performance is making some waves, he commented, showing his phone to Snoop, who laughed with genuine amusement. That's how it goes these days. Nothing stays private for long. Neither man seemed bothered by the attention. Both had long since adjusted to living public lives. What pleased them was the nature of the viral moment. Not a controversy or a misstep, but a positive interaction that highlighted causes they both cared deeply about. The hashtag #ChildrenLegendsGivingBack was already trending nationwide. As they enjoyed their desserts, several major sports and entertainment news outlets had picked up the story, with headlines emphasizing the unexpected nature of the encounter and the impact it had on the young artists present. ESPN's Instagram account shared the video with the caption, "More than athletes, more than entertainers, King James and Snoop Dogg, showing what true mentorship looks like." The post was rapidly accumulating likes and shares, further amplifying the reach of the original videos. Their phones continued buzzing with messages from friends, family, and team members who had seen the videos. LeBron's agent texted to inform him that several major brands had already reached out, interested in potentially turning the organic moment into a collaborative charitable initiative. Snoop received similar messages from his management team, along with requests from music producers wanting to work with the talented teenager whose beat had impressed the rap legend. What had begun as a chance dinner encounter was evolving into something with potential long-term impact. The restaurant manager approached their table again, this time with a different request. "Gentlemen, I hate to intrude, but we've received calls from several news outlets asking for comment about what happened at the charity event. We've declined to provide details out of respect for your privacy, but I wanted you to be aware of the situation." LeBron and Snoop exchanged glances, both accustomed to the media's interest in their activities, but surprised by the speed with which this particular story had spread. "Thanks for the heads up," LeBron responded. "We appreciate you respecting our privacy." After the manager left, Snoop leaned forward with a mischievous grin. "You thinking what I'm thinking, King?" LeBron raised an eyebrow questioningly. "Instead of letting the media run with their version of events, why don't we control the narrative? Post something ourselves, make it about the kids and the program, direct people to donate." LeBron nodded appreciatively at the suggestion, always strategic about his social media presence and its potential impact. "I like how you think. Let's do it right now." Both men took a moment to craft thoughtful posts for their respective social media accounts. LeBron's post included a photo of the young participants at the charity event, with their permission, along with a link to donate to the arts program, and a caption that read, "Unexpected dinner with Snoop Dogg turned into an unforgettable night. Supporting young artists in LA. These kids have incredible talent. They just need the opportunity to shine. Follow the link to help make that happen. Invest in the future." Snoop's post was similar in message but delivered with his characteristic flair, encouraging his followers to drop some dollars for the next generation of creators. Within minutes of their posts going live, the donation page for the arts program crashed due to overwhelming traffic. The organization quickly worked to restore it, amazed by the sudden influx of support and attention. By the time LeBron and Snoop finished their desserts, the program had received more donations in a single evening than in the previous 6 months combined. The viral moment had transformed into a viral movement, with celebrities and influencers joining in to amplify the cause and contribute their own donations. As they prepared to leave the restaurant, both men were aware that a small crowd had gathered outside, word having spread about their presence. Rather than slipping out through a back entrance as they might normally do, they decided to exit through the front, understanding that their visibility could further highlight the cause they had inadvertently championed that evening. The maitre d' thanked them profusely for their patronage as they settled their bill, LeBron insisting on paying for both of them, despite Snoop's good-natured protests. Don't miss a single moment of this incredible story. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell. If you're enjoying this amazing tale of two legends coming together, show your support with a like and comment. The morning after their viral dinner encounter, LeBron woke up to discover that the story had grown exponentially overnight. His social media notifications were overwhelming, with millions of likes and shares on his post about the arts program. Major news networks had picked up the story, framing it as a heartwarming example of celebrities using their influence for positive impact. As he scrolled through his phone while eating breakfast, LeBron couldn't help but smile at how a simple dinner had transformed into something so meaningful. Across town, Snoop was experiencing a similar media frenzy. Morning talk shows were playing clips from the event, commentators praising both celebrities for their authenticity and generosity. Snoop's phone rang. It was his manager calling to inform him that the donation page for the arts program had raised over $1 million in less than 12 hours. "They're calling it the Snoop Dogg effect," his manager explained with a chuckle. "Everyone wants to interview you both about what happened and how others can support similar programs." The young beat producer who had been at the center of the viral moment was experiencing his own life-changing aftermath. Overnight, his social media following had grown from a few hundred friends to over 50,000. Music industry professionals were reaching out, interested in hearing more of his work. His mother tearfully told reporters that her son had been considering dropping out of the arts program due to financial constraints, but now he had scholarship offers and mentorship opportunities that would allow him to pursue his passion for music production. By mid-morning, LeBron received a text from Snoop suggesting they coordinate their response to the media attention. "Let's make sure this stays about the kids in the program, not about us," Snoop wrote. LeBron appreciated the rapper's perspective, responding quickly with his agreement. They decided to do one joint interview with a respected journalist who would focus on the importance of arts education and community investment, rather than treating the viral moment as mere celebrity gossip. Their teams began arranging the details, carefully selecting a platform that would reach the widest audience while maintaining the integrity of their message. The arts program director, still in shock from the unexpected windfall of donations and attention, held an emotional press conference thanking LeBron and Snoop, while explaining how the funds would be used to expand their reach to more neighborhoods and provide scholarships for talented youth who couldn't afford to participate. "What Mr. James and Mr. Broadus did goes beyond the generous financial contribution," she explained to the assembled reporters. "They showed these kids that their dreams and talents matter, that they deserve to be taken seriously by the very icons they look up to." Social media platforms were buzzing with discussions about the broader implications of what people were now calling Knott's the Restaurant moment. Cultural commentators noted how it represented a positive example of cross-generational mentorship in the Black community, with established figures lifting up the next generation. Others highlighted how it demonstrated the importance of arts funding in areas where such programs were often the first to be cut when budgets tightened. The conversation had evolved from a viral video to a meaningful discussion about education, opportunity, and responsibility. By lunchtime, both LeBron and Snoop had received calls from the White House, commending them for highlighting such an important cause and inviting them to participate in an upcoming summit on youth education initiatives. Corporate sponsors of both celebrities reached out, offering to match donations to the arts program or to fund similar initiatives in other cities. What had begun as a chance dinner meeting was catalyzing into a movement with potential national impact, demonstrating the unique power celebrities held when they used their platforms purposefully. The restaurant where it all began was experiencing its own aftermath, with reservation requests flooding in from people hoping to dine at the table where LeBron and Snoop had sat. The management, recognizing an opportunity to contribute to the cause, announced that for the next month, they would donate a percentage of their proceeds to the arts program that had benefited from the viral moment. Local businesses followed suit, creating a wave of community support that extended beyond the initial celebrity endorsement, showing the ripple effect that such moments could create. Later that afternoon, LeBron and Snoop met at a neutral location to prepare for their joint interview. Away from cameras and the public eye, they reflected on the unexpected impact of their dinner encounter. "You know what's crazy?" LeBron mused as they waited for the interviewer to arrive. "We didn't plan any of this. We were just being ourselves, showing love to some talented kids, and it turned into something so much bigger." Snoop nodded, his expression thoughtful. "That's because it was real. People can feel the difference between a publicity stunt and a genuine moment." The interview itself became another viral sensation, not for any dramatic revelations, but for the authentic way both men spoke about the importance of creating opportunities for youth in underserved communities. LeBron shared stories about how basketball had provided him structure and purpose during challenging times in his childhood, while Snoop discussed how music had been his salvation from street life. Both emphasized that their success wasn't just about talent, but about having adults who believed in them and programs that nurtured their potential. The interviewer, respecting their wishes, kept the focus on the cause rather than the celebrities. Following the interview, several major corporations announced initiatives inspired by Shuk the restaurant moment. A prominent tech company pledged to fund digital arts programs in 50 schools across the country. A sports apparel brand committed to building recording studios and community centers in 10 major cities. The viral moment had transcended its original context, becoming a catalyst for corporate social responsibility and community investment. Both LeBron and Snoop were careful to maintain authentic involvement, reviewing proposals to ensure they aligned with their values rather than simply lending their names to promotional efforts. As the day drew to a close, LeBron received another text from Snoop. "Same time next week? I'm thinking we should make this a regular thing. Dinner and changing the world." LeBron smiled at the message, appreciating how an unexpected encounter had potentially led to a meaningful friendship and partnership. He replied with a basketball and microphone emoji, adding, "Next time let's invite that kid with the beats. I think we all have more to learn from each other." The exchange, though private, reflected the genuine connection that had formed between two icons who recognized in each other a shared commitment to using their influence for positive impact. We've reached the final chapter of this amazing story. If you've enjoyed this journey, now is the time to subscribe, like, and share with friends who would love this incredible tale. Comment below with what collaboration you'd like to see next. 1 month after the viral restaurant encounter, LeBron and Snoop made good on their text exchange, meeting again for dinner, this time with a purpose rather than by chance. They had invited the young beat producer, whose name was Marcus, along with 2 other talented teenagers from the arts program. The dinner was held in a private room at a different restaurant, away from the public eye, creating a space where genuine mentorship could occur without the pressure of cameras or social media attention. The teens, initially nervous and starstruck, gradually relaxed as both celebrities engaged them in authentic conversation about their aspirations and challenges. "The hardest part for me," Marcus admitted as they enjoyed their appetizers, "is believing I belong in those professional spaces. Even with all the attention from the viral video, I still sometimes feel like an imposter when industry people reach out." LeBron nodded understanding, leaning forward slightly. "That feeling doesn't completely go away, even at our level. The key is to use it as motivation rather than limitation. I still prepare for every game like I have something to prove, because in my mind, I do." Snoop added his perspective, sharing stories of early rejection in his career and how he developed the confidence to persist despite criticism. What made the dinner special wasn't just the advice being shared, but the listening that accompanied it. Both LeBron and Snoop asked thoughtful questions about the teens' creative processes, their home environments, and the specific obstacles they faced. They took notes when the young artists spoke about systemic issues in their schools and neighborhoods, challenges that went beyond individual talent or effort. This wasn't a photo opportunity or a one-time gesture. It was the beginning of a sustained mentorship program that would eventually expand to include dozens of young artists and athletes from underserved communities across Los Angeles. By dessert, the conversation had evolved from career advice to actionable plans. LeBron offered Marcus an internship with his production company during the off-season, while Snoop connected one of the other teens, an aspiring filmmaker, with directors from his music video team. The third teenager, who had expressed interest in sports management, was invited to shadow LeBron's business team for a week to understand the behind-the-scenes operations of an athlete's brand. These weren't vague promises, but concrete opportunities with specific dates and contacts exchanged before the evening concluded. The impact of the restaurant moment continued to expand in unexpected ways. What had begun as a viral video had evolved into a movement, with LeBron and Snoop as its visible figureheads, but with community organizations and young people as its true heart. The arts program that had benefited from the initial attention had used the funds to expand to 5 additional neighborhoods, creating safe creative spaces for hundreds more children. The donation page remained active, continuing to attract support from individuals and corporations inspired by the ongoing story. Perhaps most significantly, the viral moment had sparked a national conversation about the importance of arts education and mentorship, particularly in communities where such programs were often underfunded or eliminated entirely. Policymakers cited the tangible outcomes of the expanded arts program when advocating for increased educational funding. Community leaders in other cities reached out for guidance on creating similar initiatives, leading to a network of programs that shared resources and best practices while maintaining connections to their local communities and unique cultural contexts. For LeBron and Snoop personally, the experience had cemented a friendship based on shared values and complementary strengths. They began collaborating on additional community initiatives, combining LeBron's strategic approach to philanthropy with Snoop's cultural influence and authentic connection to street culture. Their teams worked together seamlessly, recognizing the powerful impact of their united efforts. The media noted this unexpected partnership, with commentators observing how it bridged different aspects of Black excellence and demonstrated the power of collaboration across cultural domains. 6 months after their initial dinner encounter, LeBron and Snoop co-founded a nonprofit organization dedicated to creating sustainable arts and sports programs in underserved communities nationwide. They named it The Restaurant Table, a nod to their fateful meeting with the tagline, "Where opportunity meets talent." The organization focused not just on providing creative outlets for youth, but on building pathways to professional opportunities in sports, entertainment, and business. Its board of directors included not only celebrities and executives but also community leaders and former program participants, ensuring that decisions remained grounded in the actual needs of the communities being served. The young people who had been at the center of the original viral moment remained connected to the initiative, many now serving as junior mentors to newer participants. Marcus, the beat producer, had developed his skills significantly under Snoop's guidance and had credits on several professional recordings. He frequently spoke at program events, his story serving as tangible proof of what was possible when talent met opportunity. The other teens had similarly progressed in their chosen fields, each maintaining relationships with both LeBron and Snoop while developing their own networks and professional identities. The 1-year anniversary of The Restaurant Moment was marked by a gala fundraiser that brought together celebrities, corporate sponsors, program participants, and community members. The event, held at the restaurant where it all began, celebrated not just the viral video that had captured the internet's attention, but the substantial, sustainable impact that had followed. A documentary crew captured footage for a film about the initiative's journey, focusing not on LeBron and Snoop, but on the young people whose lives had been changed through the expanded opportunities and mentorship the program provided. In his speech at the gala, LeBron reflected on the unexpected journey of the past year. What happened that night wasn't planned or scripted. It was just 2 people recognizing something special in the next generation and taking a moment to acknowledge it. But that's often how the most meaningful changes begin, not with grand strategies, but with genuine connections. Snoop followed with his own reflections, his characteristic laid-back delivery carrying the weight of authentic emotion. This right here? This is what legacy really looks like. Not trophies or records or fame, but the people who will carry forward what you started long after you're gone. As the evening concluded, LeBron and Snoop stood together at the center of a group photograph that included program participants past and present, staff members, community leaders, and supporters. The image would later be shared across social media with the caption, "From viral moment to lasting movement." The restaurant table continues. The hashtag quickly began trending, a reminder of how a chance encounter between two cultural icons had evolved into something with lasting impact, a legacy in motion that would continue to grow and evolve, touching lives far beyond what either man could have imagined when they first crossed paths in that restaurant 1 year before. If you enjoyed this story of how an unexpected meeting between legends created real change, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Like this video and share it with friends who appreciate stories about celebrities using their influence for positive impact. Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on this remarkable journey from viral moment to lasting legacy.